Hi everybody, welcome back to Running Denver TV. No doubt if you've been attending any races lately, you've seen a lot of the American flag, and that is all because of Team Red, White, and Blue. And I'm happy to have Chad Prichard here with Red, White, and Blue. And it's a really great group. A lot of numbers in your team that are building up across the United States. So tell us more, first of all, about yourself.
Team Red, White, and Blue is an organization that helps veterans, and that's what I am. I'm a 11-year Army combat veteran. I served in the U.S. Army from '95 to 2006, and one thing that I found in myself is that becoming a soldier is a lot easier than taking off that soldier uniform, and so Team Red, White, and Blue is like something I found that's really helped get me back into the society as far as running and whatnot.
Well, that's really great to hear all about that and stuff. And obviously, I've learned a little bit about Red, White, and Blue, about how they're really trying to do things a little bit differently, and that's kind of how it was developed. So tell us a bit more what makes Red, White, and Blue so special.
I think Team Red, White, and Blue is special because it's not just open to veterans. We're open to caregivers, family members, community, and whatnot, because our purpose is that we want to help the veteran reintegrate into community. And the thing about that is sometimes you think of like having an event being hundreds of people or 200 people or 20 people even, but Team Red, White, and Blue, I think's foundation is the one-on-one interactions amongst each other that gives us the opportunity to just say, hey, you don't have to tell me what you're going through. You don't have to explain what you've been through, but this is how you can move forward. And we use, physical activities and social events to accomplish our goals. And so I think it's just getting the body moving together and working together and having someone there go through that suck factor with you is like definitely, what makes it unique and special.
Talk a little bit about briefly too, because you made a good point about that it's open to just not veterans, it's open to anybody that really want to kind of support veterans too. And I think that's a really neat aspect. I haven't really ever seen a group like that before have the ability to not only support the veterans, but also bring people that also want to support the veterans and bring them into a knit group.
I think what better to have is community to help veterans reintegrate into community. It's a two-part series. I don't think veterans completely know how to be a civilian again. I don't think veterans completely know what community is. We understand what teams are and platoons are and companies are and battalions are and whatever the Navy or Air Force calls their people. I can only speak on Army terms, but the fact is that we are growing in immense numbers because it's not just the camaraderie of the veteran, it's camaraderie of community, and I think that's what makes it just amazing, because you get to have that. We all wear the eagle, and one person next to you don't know their story. You just know they're out there, and I think it helps. I think it helps to wear the eagle.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Coming home for me was a huge challenge. I didn't know how to deal with that for a long time. I was diagnosed with PTSD, and I think a lot of us were. But the thing is I didn't know how to deal with my problems for a long time. And the biggest thing that I did for about 8 years was I downed myself in drugs and alcohol, and I tried to self-medicate the problems away. And the thing is that in those 8 years, it almost killed me. I ended up doing lots of hard drugs and lots of alcohol, and I mean, I'm not talking just like on the weekend warrior. I'm every day, and I think that's what a lot of veterans face. We have so much trauma in our life, and we come home, and all we want to do is have a good night's sleep. And I think the key is that when I started drinking, I never said I want to be an alcoholic when I grow up, or I want to be a drug addict, or I want to be this or that. It was just, I just don't want to have to see those images, or I just don't want to have to feel that trauma, or I just don't want to, just have those thoughts roll through my mind. And so, it started with just a few drinks here and there, and went on a really down spiral to where I became homeless. And you know, you hear a lot, you see the signs of people homeless vet on the street. Well, it's a real epidemic. You know, guys literally just don't know how to be a civilian again. The military, you follow orders, you have structure, you have everything set up for you, but when it comes to being a civilian, you're on your own, you know. And I think for many of us that was a challenge. But the good side to this story is, you know, I kind of hit rock bottom, I think, and I had an opportunity in 2013 to clean my act up, and I jumped on it, and I started getting sober. One of the biggest things that helped me with sobriety was Phoenix Multisport here in Denver, which is a sober active community. They help, you know, those that are in recovery do physical activities and whatnot. Once I found that location and started getting in shape and whatnot, I ended up finding Team Red, White, and Blue later on that year. And ever since I found Team Red, White, and Blue and Phoenix Multisport, I went from an overweight and out of shape, you know, drug addict to what I call an athlete now. And I'd much rather be an athlete than go back to those days of addiction.
So Chad, that's quite an amazing story, and first of all, thank you very much for your service and everything you've done for our country, and I'm glad that you're able to find these programs, because I think you are pretty inspirational in how everything that you've gone through, and hopefully that can help a lot of people out there. We all kind of battle our demons and stuff, and I think we all have our different rock bottoms, and hopefully that can help bring them up as well. But this all kind of leads us into running as well. So what's running given to you?
Running's given me a purpose. It's given me the joy that I didn't know existed. It's given me that outlet that I don't have to drown in a bottle. It's given me a clear head, I guess is the word. I can have the weight of the world on my shoulders and be stressed out or whatever and go for a run, and it's like in that moment it's like the care of the world is not there, and like I've explained, I have PTSD, and sometimes my mind just kind of goes into a spiral downward, and it's amazing how I can be in chaos and can't figure out simple things, but yet I can stop and leave and not deal with those problems, go for a run and come back, and it's like all of a sudden I can take on the world. And I don't know what's happening physically, I don't know what's happening in my mind mentally, but it's truly given me kind of a tool to use to deal with stress and anxiety, and again, just it gives me joy to run.
Yeah. But how often are you running per week?
I run probably 4 to 5 days a week, you know, it's been interesting because I've just kind of finally found my niche a year and a half into running, and I found that I prefer the trails when I run.
Yeah, and we've got some great trails where our location is out here as well. What events are you going to be signing up for?
This year, I've been asked to be on the Colorado 200 relay. I'm taking on the 100-mile leg of that relay. I'm also doing Ragnar, the trail series. I think that's in June. The Colorado 200 is actually in July. I'm going to be pacing a buddy that's doing Leadville with Team Red, White, and Blue. And the cool part is I've never actually met this gentleman. He found me through Team Red, White, and Blue.
Wow.
He's based out of Houston, I think, Texas. And so he's coming up, and I'm going to help him hopefully do 50 miles of Leadville. And then I'm going back to Texas in September and doing it's a J&J reunion race through Tejas Trails. It's 100K. So
the one thing that just caught my attention, and probably yours on watching the program too, is you are doing a 100-mile leg of a 200-mile run?
Yeah, the Colorado 200 is 4 legs. I believe 2 of them are around 25 miles. One of them's 50 miles, and one of them is 100.
Wow.
And I've never even done 100 miles, but gonna go for it.
Well, I have no doubt of everything that you've gone through that you'll be able to rise up and definitely take it on. Chad, thank you so much for being out here today. If people want to learn more about how to be part of Red, White, and Blue, how would they do that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Team Red, White, and Blue is if you just go to teamrwb.org, up in the right-hand corner of the website says how to get involved and join the team. It takes literally 30 seconds. I think they ask for your name and your email and what city you're in, and that's it. And I think the biggest thing is just get out and try something. We do all kinds of activities: running, rock climbing, CrossFit, social events, cycling, and it's a great way to get out and do it as a team and support those that supported you for a long time.
Thanks, Chad, so much. And again, if you want to get involved with Red, White, and Blue, which I highly recommend you do, you see them everywhere at events, especially in the last 12 months. Make sure you go to Team RWB on the internet, sign up, help support our troops. And for more great interviews like Chad's here, make sure you go to runningdenver.com.